Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Guys, hopefully you guys are all doing well. Today we have a bit of a video that I've been wanting to make for a couple days. I've just been tired. I haven't really had a lot of time to do it. I've been super busy, but today I have the time. We're getting around to it. So today we're going to be talking about like most of the FUT Fantasy players and kind of like what to expect with the potential upgrades that they're going to get. Now, obviously, the FUT Fantasy cards, guys, they have a total upgrade of a +3. If you're an attacker, you got to get a contribution for a goal, which is a goal or an assist. You got to play in 3 out of the 5 matches, and your team has to win 1 match out of 5. The only difference is that if you're a defender or keeper, the contribution changes from a goal contribution to a clean sheet. So just keep all that in mind. And I'm not going to be able to talk about every FUT Fantasy player, guys. I'm more going to talk today about the ones that I think are really impactful. Drop a like if you guys enjoy it, and let me know in the comments down below if you guys have completed a FUT Fantasy card, if you've packed one, if you've bought one, and, you know, are you anticipating like a nice upgrade? Maybe there's cards right now that you guys are not interested in, but you're waiting for upgrades, and if that's, you know, a case, let me know in the comments down below. I'm very curious to hear, you know, you guys scoping out some upgrades. So, obviously, this promo is pretty crazy because these guys can get +3s, which at this time of the year is pretty nuts when they're already released as quite good cards. So, we're going to first start off talking about Tonali, who is one of the first SBC cards, if not the first one that we had for this promo. His card is already amazing. Now, speaking about Milan, guys, Milan have won 3 out of their last 5. And so, you know, in that case, Tonali would have already gotten a +1 if the games were counting already, because they won 1 game. That's 1 upgrade. Now, the upgrades start on April 1st. I'm recording this video on March 30th. Their next match is against Bologna, and I think Bologna is not a great team in the Serie A this year. I mean, head-to-head, they pretty much destroy them. So I think a win is very possible. They've got double their points in the standings. They're not playing well. They've lost 2, I think, in their last 5, but 2 in a row. And if we take a look at, you know, Milan's previous matches, and we kind of take a look at, you know, what they've been up to, you guys can see that like they did just draw, I believe, right? But I mean, if you take a look at kind of their form at the moment, they're doing what? No, these were before that. So they've won 3 in a row right now, I believe. And if we take a look at, you know, who's been playing, it's important because with lineups, right? In a situation like Tonali, right? If he starts or plays, which he did not start in this match, but if he gets subbed in, you know, that's important. So you can go and take a look at this, right? Tonali, and you can kind of start to see his match ratings, because they've got to make appearances, right? So he did not make an appearance in the last match, but before that, he was making appearances in almost every match. So you're going to assume that Tonali is most likely going to get an upgrade for that. So right away, you've got Tonali at a +2, and then you can see he got an assist here. So the goal contribution for a player like Tonali, who is a CDM, is going to be a little bit more like harder to predict, but I think Tonali is definitely a guy who's going to get a +2. I would be shocked if he didn't get a +2. So I think with Tonali, you know, you're probably definitely looking at a +2. I want to take a look at Fantasy FUT Team 1 before we kind of go look at Team 2. Because I want to talk about the ones that I'm really interested in and I think could be like pretty game-changing cards with upgrades. Lucas Mora is kind of one of those guys because of his price tag. He is so expensive. He's 900K, but he had the craziest left stick dribbling when I had tried him. I thought his left stick was out of this world good. So I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, kind of what happens with him. I was trying to use FootMob earlier, but the site was like super slow. I wonder if it's a bit fixed now. It was really slow like a minute ago. So Spurs, they've won 3 out of their last 5, and obviously it has to be league matches, guys. That's very important. They've got Newcastle, Villa, Brighton, Brentford. So right away, you'd think that Spurs are going to win one of those matches. You guys know, though, Spurs are bottlers, but I think they're going to win one of those games, which right away, that's a +1. So now it's like, okay, is Lucas making the appearances? Because sometimes he's in and out of the lineup, right? That happens with Lucas Mora. If we take a look at recent form, obviously, Premier League, they've beat West Ham. Now, if we take a look at this specific game, Lucas Mora was subbed in the 90th, which would still count as an appearance, right? So that's an appearance. Lucas Mora is usually a guy that is getting subbed in. So I would expect him to appear in 3 out of 5 matches. He usually is getting subbed in, right? Subbed in the 80th. So I think he'll also get that upgrade. And then it's just going to be about, is he going to get that goal contribution, right? Is he going to get that lovely goal contribution, right? And that's the variable with a lot of these guys. Are they gonna is the midfielder higher gonna get that goal or assist? And Lucas Mora really hasn't had a contribution from the point that unless he was playing like a close to a 90-minute match, right? You can see a lot of times when he gets subbed on, he's not really contributing. So I think it's unlikely. I don't know. I think it's not looking good for him to get a goal contribution or assist. It's definitely still possible, but you can see his minutes recently haven't been as good. So with Lucas Mora, you're probably looking at about a +2. That's probably what you're looking at with Mora. I think that's realistic. Let's look at Atal, right? Because I think Atal is, quite the FIFA card. I packed him this week. I think this one is a bit interesting. I personally don't watch a lot of League One, so I don't really know too much about his team. I know his team is okay. So when we take a look at Nice, and some people would say nice, Ajax, but we take a look at Nice, guys. They've won 2 out of their last 5, which is good enough for 1 upgrade, obviously. Now, in terms of their upcoming schedule, they don't have the craziest teams. Lens is in 8th. They do play a 3rd place team, but they play like a bottom of the table team. They do play Monaco, play another bottom of the table team. So you'd expect that they're at 4th place going to get a win. I think in those 5 matches, I think they're going to definitely get a +1 for Atal. Now, as you guys got to know, Atal is a defender, right? So in the case that Nice would tie or draw 0-0, he would get an upgrade because that's a clean sheet. So that's +1. So I actually think with Atal, it's very likely that he is going to get a +3, I think, which would make him a pretty good investment this week. When you take a look at his history, he's playing in 3 out of 5 matches. When he's healthy, it looks like he's playing. Okay, so that's a big deal, man, because when you take a look at this Atal card, 4-star, 5-star, and it's a good card. Like, this has some really nice stats on his card. His pace is probably going to be maxed out. So bar a crazy injury, I think Atal is most likely going to be a 90 rated. Now, this is going to take some time because especially the 3 out of the 5 matches one, that's going to be the thing with this kind of, promo concept that is going to take the longest because, the earliest that he's going to be able to get it is Sunday, April 17th. Now, he may likely get a clean sheet and a win before that. So it'll be interesting to see if EA, hopefully they don't wait till the end to kind of divvy out the upgrades like all at once. Hopefully they do them quite quickly, right? Like when someone gets a clean sheet, they do it. When someone gets a contribution, they do it. Hoping that EA can kind of do that because I know that EA, they run a little bit slow when it comes to this type of stuff. So hopefully they kind of get around to, figuring that out. I'm hoping, right? That's a big ask though. Let's look at Gelson Martins. Like Gelson Martins for me, he's risen 250k out of packs, 300k, and he's very meta, right? Only problem is the 3-star weak foot. But obviously he could still use some more upgrades, I think, specifically on the passing, the reactions. You can never not get some more strength. So let's look at Gelson Martins, guys, on Monaco. Now, Monaco's a very good team. They will definitely win a game out of 5. In my opinion, 100% they will win a game out of 5. And obviously, you got some more variables then. But I think they will definitely win a game out of 5. And let's take a look specifically at Gelson Martins. So I'm saying right away, he's definitely a 90. Now, by the looks of it, Gelson Martins gets maybe a goal contribution every 7 games. So for me, this card is most likely looking as a 91. And, you're just going to have to pray that he gets that contribution, right? That's a big deal. But 91 or 92 for me for Gelson Martins is quite safe. I think you can definitely expect that. Who else should we take a look at from Team 1? I mean, Nani, the problem with Nani, guys, Nani's team is very bad. And so that's a little bit concerning, guys, with Nani. I mean, Nani's card is really good, but I think Nani's probably going to be capped at a +1 or a +2. His squad is in 19th place in the Serie A. Their team form is absolutely horrendous. And when we take a look at it, I think a win is looking hard, man. I think a win is looking hard. We take a look at it. He is appearing in matches, but he's not really doing a lot. He's not really contributing goal or assist-wise too much. So I think you'll probably see Nani get the +1 upgrade, at least with the 3 out of the 5 match appearances. And I think maybe they will win a game. But that's looking like 50-50, 40% chance. Can they win a game out of the next 5? That's going to be the big question with Nani's squad. I think it's possible, but it's not going to be easy for Nani. And that's a shame because this guy, 5'5", this card, with a +3, let's say he's a 94, you're talking like 93 pace, 95 shooting, 5'5", City A, great links. So that one for me is a little bit hard to see because I think the card could be absolutely insane. I think Klosterman is somebody that's not being talked about a lot. He has 90 pace, right? Like 90 pace is crazy, and potentially getting upgraded to even more is kind of the scary part about this card. So he plays for Leipzig. Leipzig are going to win a game out of the next 5. I will almost guarantee you guys that. He's a center back, which means he's got to get shutout / clean sheets. And he has been playing, right? He has been playing. He did not play in the last match, but he has been playing. And they have gotten a shutout in the last 5 matches. So I think you got a good chance with Klosterman to get a +3. Just envision that, right? 91 rated, probably 93, 94 pace, 94 defending. I mean, this is almost looking like a card that you'd log on to FIFA in, July, August and receive, right? So watch out for this card. I would think that with all these upgrades possibly, there's a chance this guy's like 600K. Because what you guys have to remember is that a lot of these upgrades are going to be happening in the middle of April. And so these upgrades will just be happening before Team of the Season comes out. So these cards will most likely, and they are right now, bar for birthdays, be the best cards in the game. So watch out for Klosterman. And I think there's a lot of coins in these cards. That's why I'm kind of talking about these, because I think a lot of these cards are still going to go up. They're live. They have huge potential upgrades, and I think when people realize some of the potential, they're going to go to the moon, right? Okay, John Stones, he's extinct. I invested in him at 380. I think he's going to go to like 600K because I think he's going to get upgrades. The issue with John Stones is I believe he just left international break early. I think he got injured, but let's be honest, guys. Manchester City, they're going to get shutouts / clean sheets. They're going to get wins, right? So for me, you can almost guarantee, an upgrade with this John Stones. It's just going to be about whether or not he's playing, right? That's going to be the big factor. Now, when he's healthy, he plays in every match, but he's got, his return is doubtful right now. I think it's not a long-term injury, so I think that he will be a part of a clean sheet, and he will be a part of winning. I think so, for sure. So for me, John Stones is looking very likely to get a +3, unless something else comes out that he's very injured. And I think you would see it on the market, like price-wise. If he was very injured, I think the price would totally reflect that. If this guy was hurt, I think he would not be extinct anymore. I think people would be listing him. So I think people still believe that he's got some serious potential to upgrade. All right, let's talk about 2 of the craziest players from this promo team. Rashford at 2.7 mil and St. Max at 4.4. Obviously, both these cards are incredible as is. So any future upgrades to either of these cards is going to be insane for the way that they feel and play in the game, right? That's obviously going to be, everybody knows that. Any of these 2 upgrading are just going to start to become out of this world. So let's take a look at Manchester United first. In terms of upcoming schedule, they should beat Norwich. They should beat Everton, right? So right away, there you go. You got 2 games where I think that Manchester United will definitely win. Leicester potentially as well. They're going to win a game, I think, in 5. That's for sure. Then it's about Rashford. And Rashford has kind of been out of the rotation recently. He plays, but he's not really contributing too much. Now, he does get in these like hot spurts where you can see there was 2 games in a row where he didn't even play that many minutes and he scored. So I think Rashford always has the chance to score. Whether or not he does that is another thing. But he does appear in almost every match off the bench. So Rashford for me is at least a 95. I think at least, like minimum, he's going to be a 95, which is like crazy. That's like an end game, team of the season level card, 5-star, 4-star. So that's pretty crazy to see that he's going to be at least a 95. But, whether or not he gets that contribution, that's the other factor. St. Max has obviously the potential to get to a 95. Newcastle, I think, have been picking it up a bit recently. They have won some matches in the Prem. They've lost 2 in a row now, but they play Norwich again. They play Palace. So they play some teams that are definitely, winnable matches. I'm not going to bet on Newcastle winning, but I do think they will win 1 in 5. And then in terms of St. Max, he's playing every game. He's playing in every game, and you know what? He's pretty similar to Rashford, right? I think he's a dynamic player. He's got the chance to potentially get a goal contribution or assist at any point in the match. It's just going to be whether or not he actually does. So I think +2 again for me for St. Max. So, good news is a lot of these cards, guys, all getting +2s, right? All of them getting +2s in my opinion. Like at least a lot of these, unless they literally don't play for their team. And that's a whole other story. So I think St. Max 94 for me for sure. For sure. Other than that, from this promo team, Jimenez probably going to be getting a +3. Atletico will win a match. They're going to get a clean sheet. It's Atletico, and Jimenez will play. I think for me, that's almost like a for sure type thing. Camavinga, I don't think he's going to get, I don't know about the goal contribution or assist, but he does get time. He gets subbed in, and I think that, Real Madrid is definitely going to win. So that's another one with upgrades. Who else in this team I think Van der Beek is interesting. I mean, Everton kind of sucked this year. That's kind of the sad part with Everton. I'm sorry if any Everton fans are watching me. They kind of sucked this year, but I think Everton can win a match. I mean, they do play against Burnley. They play against Leicester. And they play against, oh, God, actually a win is looking hard. They play some good teams. Now, Van der Beek, Donny, all right, he's playing in every match. He does need a contribution or assist, and that's not looking good. He doesn't really do that. So that's going to be hard to ask for, especially as he's a midfielder. He's got to do that. But I think a +1 for sure. I think a +2 is possible. We got a couple other players that are going to be, are cheaper players that are going to be a lot better, I think. Like, Resilient could potentially get that 99 pace. I think that's a big deal. Iñaki Williams, for me, still with a 3-star weak foot is a little bit questionable, but that card is really annoying to play against. So, Team 1 has a lot of players that I think can do really well. I think Bali, Dio, and Iñaki are really similar for me. Like, those cards could both be pretty crazy. Let's take a look at Fantasy Team 2. So, first of all, I want to talk about Dembele, because I think Dembele is going to be crazy. Now, Dembele's variable, guys, is can he stay healthy? Barcelona are in very good form. He's in very good form. Can Dembele not get injured? Because if he doesn't get injured, I think he's going to get a +3. He's been doing really well. He's been, contributing a ton to the team. High ratings, playing in every match. So for me, it's a +3, and I think that's why this price makes a lot of sense. You're talking 95 Dembele, 99 pace, 93, 94 shooting, 97 dribbling, 5-star, 5-star. This card is going to be an endgame card in a lot of people's teams. We won't see a better card in FIFA for probably until towards the end of the year. I mean, he'll be better than most icon moments. So that's why this card is so expensive. That's why on the first day people are paying 7 mil for him because of that, right? That factor is massive. Coutinho, Villa are going to win a game. He plays in every game, and he is very good and contributes on a lot. So I think Coutinho will be a 95. This will be the best Coutinho card we've had probably since FIFA 20. That Team of the Season card was very good, that SBC. So watch out for Coutinho. I think this price makes sense. I think he's got a lot of potential there. I talked about it all. I think Sandro is interesting, but he's 3-3. Rodrigo is really interesting to me. Although he's 4-3, for a Prem striker, guys, I mean, the problem is, he's playing for Leeds, right? But this is one of those cards that if he could sneak out if they could sneak out a couple of wins, which they are, they're getting back to now. It's an interesting one for me, guys, because Rodrigo is very fast right now. I wonder what Rodrigo Moreno. Let me look him up. Rodrigo Moreno. Okay, well, squad. I'm going to go find Rodrigo. Boom. Okay, so Rodrigo, guys, has 2 goals in his last 5 games. And if you look at his last 10 games, he's got 2 more contributions. So, and he plays in every game. So Rodrigo's a sleeper. I would say Rodrigo, I really like to go up out of packs, right? He's going to be very low. He's going to be low 40s tomorrow. Even though he's 4-3 with the Prem striker tax, looking good, man. Watch out for Rodrigo. I think that's going to be a good card. Let's talk about some of the guys other places. I think Martinelli and Sissoko are really interesting. The problem with Watford is Watford are quite poor, but a win out of 5 is possible. They've got Brentford, Leeds, and Burnley, so they could do it. And then we take a look at Sissoko. Every time I watch Watford, Sissoko's playing. So, look, 2 goals in the last 5 games. Bit of a question mark with this one, right? Bit of a question mark, but it's possible. I think Sissoko's got the chance for the +3. And we take a look at Arsenal. Arsenal, obviously, guys, in great form. Great form, right? 4 of the last 5. Martinelli plays a lot, and Martinelli does well on this team. So I think Martinelli is definitely going to get a +3. I would bet on it. I think he's going to get a +3. For me, that's just my take. I think Martinelli, you're looking at a 93 rated. Now, 4-4, maxed out pace, low 90 shooting. Got a really good opportunity there to have a great Martinelli card. Obviously, you've got some players that are the cheaper options, guys, that could become insane. I think Owar also has the chance for a really nice +2, +3. Moreno and Pedro are really interesting to me for the price, guys. I just think both these guys could be really good for the price. Now, Moreno plays on Sociedad, who, in my opinion, were a good team, but I haven't been watching La Liga this year, so I don't know where they are. They're in 6th. They're a very defensive team. He's a midfielder. So, they are going to win a game. Guys, but that contribution is going to be a question mark. He got one in versus Mallorca, but it's going to be a question mark. But he does play in every game, so a +2 at least, and, he's whole gang. He's going to have some really nice stats. And then finally, we've got Pedro. And Pedro, guys, obviously playing for Lazio. Lazio will win 1 out of 5. I almost will guarantee you guys that. They will win 1 out of 5. And in terms of, Pedro and kind of what he's doing for them, he's going to have to get that contribution, as we had just said, guys. And he plays in every game. But the contribution, it's possible, definitely. But I wouldn't bank on it, but it's definitely possible. And he's going to get at least the +2. So now, guys, we walk into, other than that, not team of the year. I was looking at Jorginho. We've got also the SBC cards, right? And a lot of these guys had SBCs. I also think Eriksen at Brentford is interesting because a lot of you guys probably have him. So first of all, we've got Caliguri, who's, like, in my opinion, one of the best SBCs that EA have released all year. Augsburg, let's see where they're at. They've won 1 out of the last 5. They're not a great team, but I think a win is possible. I wouldn't bank on it. But he's a right mid as well, so he's not needing the clean sheet. He just needs the contribution, and he does play every game. So when he is healthy, it looks like he is contributing. So I think for me, it's actually more likely that he would get the games played and the contribution than the win. So a +3 is very possible for him. That would obviously be very, very nice. And then Perisic, right? That's the other real SBC that I've done that I thought, was really worth doing. And then Inter obviously are kind of like Milan, where Inter are just at the top of the league. They're a very good Serie A team. They're in 3rd. They're going to win a game out of 5, 100%. And then Perisic, I think Perisic appears in most games, right? He does, and he contributes at times. So, again, this for me is a lock for a +2. The +3 is the question mark with the contribution. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Just want to kind of go over this. I think it's really interesting, and I think a lot of these players are going to be crazy with upgrades. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.